It's your boy Jose from Big Beat Sports. How are you guys doing on this lovely Monday? And we are back with another episode. But before you watch this episode, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the page. And also check us out on Spotify because we are there. Just search up Big Beat Sports and you'll go to the page. Now, we are talking about Week 3 NFL football. How you doing, JC?
Not good.
Not good. Look,
not good at all, man.
Hey, I just want to tell you something before we start. Look, I always tend to root for the Dolphins, but as of late, I've probably like the past couple years, when Sunday comes around and either Dallas loses, I hate getting that text message from you because you're the first hater that texts me and makes fun of either the Cowboys losing or whatever the case may be. So it's hard to root for the Dolphins because of you. I have to put that out there because of you. And so
you do the same to me. So it's just the back and forth is gonna continue.
No. Look. I did it yesterday because I was getting sick and tired of holding my mouth shut, and I had to do it because I know you had high hopes and when you tied the game and so on and so forth. But I know you're mad. I know you're probably like 10 White Claws in and disappointed at the loss.
Yeah, man.
But let's talk about the Dolphins. It was a close one. Vegas 31, Dolphins 28 in overtime. So my thing is in this game, and I'll give him my opinion first. You guys started off hot, 14-0. Started off with the defensive interception. Then I believe turned it around with the short field and scored again, but
stuffed them on 4th and 1.
Yeah, stuffed them on 4th and 1. Had a short field.
Defense got us those points.
Yes,
we scored the second one, but defense was what
and you guys didn't end up scoring again until the 4th quarter. So, like to me, when I saw that game, I blame the offensive line and the offensive play calling.
Yes,
because
play calling number one. O-line wasn't as bad as they were last week, but man, play calling was atrocious. But go ahead.
But every time, and I was watching the red zone, so I'm bouncing back and forth. And they had mostly the Dolphins game because it was an entertaining game. It felt like every time Brissett went back there, he was running for his life. And I feel that you guys know that you have a weak offensive line. Tampa knew that they had a decent offensive line, but Brady needs to get rid of the ball quick. When Dak's hurt and they had Terrence Steele out there, Dak got rid of the ball quick. Other teams that know that they have, somewhat of a liability on the offensive line, they get rid of the ball quick. And I didn't feel that the Dolphins did that. And I feel some of the play calling is more towards downfield instead of those short slant routes that we used to see from the Dolphins.
You're limited with Brissett, though.
Okay.
You're just limited with him, So there's not much you could do. But yes, you're right. They should have game planned a little bit better because their O-line is so bad. But Brissett is limited, man. I mean, he made some plays at the end of the game, and he has my respect for that. But you're just so limited. He's so slow. He has such a slow delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's running, I mean, it looks like he's in slow motion. I'm not even kidding. Like I run way fast. I run way faster than that guy.
He juked one linebacker, and the second person he got popped.
He juked Abrams, the safety. He broke his ankles, and he did the same thing to Perriman on that touchdown at the end. But he got popped. But I do respect him for that because if he would have slid, he would have never converted.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to dive. He had to take that hit, and he took it.
Yeah, and
Tua would have taken that hit. He would have been done.
I just feel that the Dolphins ran into a hot Derek Carr also because Derek Carr, some of the balls that he was throwing, I mean, I never seen somebody throw a high, lofty ball and let his wide receivers run it underneath it.
He has balls,
but
though, man.
He's
a slinger.
I believe it was in overtime where he threw one and it was like triple coverage and I think it was Ruggs or somebody, I forgot who it was, that came down. And they're already on the 40-yard line, and it was the
last drive. Last drive. Yeah, that was
drive.
Edwards, I believe. That's it, man. That kid's good. I got to see if he's available in fantasy. But no, he always makes late plays in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a later player. He doesn't start off fast, but in every game that I've seen Las Vegas playing, he's always making plays.
Yeah.
Game-saving plays.
Where do you think the turning point of that game started off for the downfall?
I can tell you right now, and I think you know, that's safety.
Yep.
And what pisses me off is I've seen it so many times in the past where the Dolphins are up and they make these stupid decisions, man. I mean, to throw a screen in your own end zone. What is that? What you call a screen? I guess a bubble screen.
Yeah, right? wide receiver.
It wasn't designed.
It was not even a screen. It was just him standing right there.
There is no reason. There's two things wrong with number one. That play should have never been called. You either run the ball with a fullback, or you. Even if they give you if you get caught in a safety with running the ball, which they're always going to give you forward progress when you're running the ball.
Yeah.
So you have that. I just wanted them to punt the ball away. When I saw no running backs in the backfield.
Yeah.
And it was just 5 wideouts. I was like, what the F are they doing? I'm thinking they're going to go to Gesicki. That's the guy you got to get the ball. Every time they targeted him about 13 times, he caught it 10.
Yeah.
And he was just beasting on these guys, whether it was a linebacker, corner, which is what I've been yelling for. I've been wanting them to get him more involved. Like, just throw him the goddamn ball. This kid is a basketball, volleyball player. He can go up and get it. He's a big dude. So I'm thinking whatever they're going to do, it's designed for Gesicki or maybe Gaskins or something like that, like a short slant route, like this, just to give you some space to punt, because at that point you're thinking about punting.
Yeah.
When I saw them throw that ball to Waddle, I already knew what was going on. I could have been playing corner and he was going to be done. And then secondly, the ball was so poorly thrown. The minute that Waddle had to get off of his feet to catch that ball, he had no chance.
Yeah.
The only way Waddle can make a play is if you dart it to him and he's on the move and he can, he's a very shifty, very quick player. He could have gotten out of that. But you gave him no chance. Another thing, Brissett, if I'm the quarterback and I see that play come through, there is no way I'm running that. I'm either calling a timeout and I'm asking the coach, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we cannot do this. And change it up, do something, man. But God, what's even more infuriating is that we don't have one offensive coordinator. We have two. So two people really looked at it and said, hey, this is a good play. And it's horrible. And it happened throughout the game. Another example, I'll get into it later. But yes, that was the turning point. That safety killed our momentum and gave it to them, shifted it to them. And from then on, they went on a 25-0 run. That's old Dolphins right there, bro. That's something that I watched with Tony Sperano being the coach, God rest his soul. Joe Philbin, plenty of times. I mean, when Joe Philbin was our coach, I remember we had 3 straight games where we had a safety. They got us on a safety.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill playing quarterback. I saw the same things with Adam Gase, man. It's these stupid decisions, man, that it just doesn't make any sense. That's when we lost the game. That play right there lost us the game.
And
granted, I give it to them. They fought back, man, because we do have a resilient group of guys. But Jesus Christ, that game was, number one, O-line is trash. It's horrible, but we knew that. Number two, the coaches got to take the L on this one, man. Yeah. And Brian Flores, I understand he's a defensive guy, but how are you allowing these guys to make those kind of calls? Like, there has to be a meeting after that. Like, yo, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, how was that a good idea? I just don't get it. And another thing, in overtime, or when we forced it to overtime, when we got that pass interference on Mac Hollins that got us the ball on the 1-yard line with a fresh set of downs. Do you remember what the 2 first plays were? Wildcat.
Well, yes, Wildcat. Yes. I was thinking about that. I was like, what are you doing? I totally forgot.
The last time I checked, Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams don't play here anymore. They're retired. Ricky Williams is smoking weed and taking pictures somewhere. Ronnie Brown, who the fuck knows where he's at? But you got Malcolm Brown running the Wildcat. You got Brissett as a wideout, split out wide. And the first time they ran, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? And then they ran it again.
I was thinking about you when they ran it. I forgot about the Wildcat. I was thinking about you I was like, what are they doing? Like,
they ran it again. I'm literally looking at the screen and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? My son is there and he's like looking at me like, what? I'm literally talking to the screen and I'm like, now we deserve to lose this game.
Yeah.
And then on third down, I forgot what the call was, but we didn't get anything. If it wasn't for Brissett making that juke move and fighting in there, God, I love that from him. And then, Will Fuller catching the 2-point conversion. So I'm like, holy crap, we're back in business. You know what I'm saying? So it was exciting. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And they got the ball first. They got a field goal out of it. So I'm like, all right, cool. If we get a touchdown, great. I had no problem with our play calling in overtime. I thought we were moving the ball way better than we had before. On that last drive in the fourth quarter, we were moving the ball better than we did the entire game. And in overtime, we were moving the ball too. A couple of things I had issues with, though. When we threw the deep route to Will Fuller, that was clearly, I have a picture of it, clear PI call. You know what pisses me off too? You were actually watching this game with me last year.
Yeah.
When they played Las Vegas on Saturday night.
Yeah.
When they pulled Tua and Fitz through that crazy ass throw. But at the end of that game, this same exact play happened when we were on defense with Byron Jones. And Byron Jones touched the guy less than what this guy did yesterday. And they called him for a PI. Now, I don't know if it was Abrams. I think it might have been Abrams. If not,
it was Abrams, because they said that he's not really.
That was a clear pass interference. That would have given us the ball, 1 yard line, game over. We would have scored, game over. They didn't call it. And then on 4th and 2, I mean, you're giving the ball back to Derek Carr and this crazy ass offense. That was a horrible decision. I think they should have gone for it. Like, you have nothing to lose, bro. You have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Go for it. If you don't get it, I get the whole mindset. Score the points, tie it up, give your defense a chance, because our defense was playing, decent toward the end of that game. But man, I would have gone for it. So that was my second problem. 4th and 2, you got 2 yards, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I felt like you guys didn't have a game plan for Hunter Renfrow. I just feel like,
nah, man, that little motherfucker, he's a lot better than what I thought, man. He has some crazy ass routes, the way that he runs, man. He got Xavier Howard on that touchdown grab.
Yeah, and I feel like with Hunter Renfrow, he's in like the perfect situation with John Gruden as an offensive minded coach, and he knows what his abilities are, so he sets up those play calls. Even though they do tend to take some time, but Derek Carr had all day to pass back there, so we weren't
getting a lot of pressure. I mean, in the first half we were. I think he got sacked 2 or 3 times. Our safety Brandon Jones sacked him once in the first half, once in the second. But yeah, man, they know how to use their skill position players. That's a problem that Miami cannot solve. Yeah. We have so many skill position players, great ones, and they don't get used. Like Waddle. Waddle had 12 catches. You know how many yards he had?
No.
58 yards.
Oh, because I was looking at him on my fantasy, and I was like, he has 18 points and
PPR,
or 16.
PPR, he killed it.
I'm like, whoa!
I'm thinking because he had all those catches.
I'm thinking I might have to start him next week, but then
he's averaging less than 5 yards. Now I do like what I'm seeing from the kid. I just feel like they're not using him properly. They're not. I don't know, man. Gesicki, I feel like he has the potential to be a top 5 tight end in the game, and I feel like they underuse him. They got to get I know we don't have great running backs, but we got to get the run game more established. You know what I'm saying? Like Myles Gaskin was gaining some great yards in that game, but they only gave him the ball 13 times. And then our O-line, you already know what the issue is there. And I'll give you an example, man. We saw it in the Super Bowl. Mahomes got killed back there.
Yeah.
Because his O-line was so depleted. But what did they do in the offseason? They went and got Orlando Brown from the Ravens. They addressed it. Miami had all this cap space, all these draft picks, and we didn't do anything. Yeah. We had 4 young guys starting on the line. That was a recipe for disaster. And what happened? It knocked 2 out in the second game. Now he's going to be out for another 2 weeks, for 3 weeks technically, but now 2 after this game. And Brissett, I'm not a big fan. I think he's a capable backup. He's limited. That's what he is. He's exactly that. He's a backup. And he's going to give you some decent games, but he's so limited back there. I feel like if we had Tua fully healthy, I think we would have had a chance to win that game. He could have extended some plays and probably made some throws that Brissett could not. But I will give it to Brissett, though. He took all those shots and he got right back up and kept fighting.
Hey, look, I do give it to Brissett. I again, on last week's podcast, I talked about Brissett being a capable backup. and he did that for
And
you
I
guys.
still think he is. He still gives us the best chance to win right now.
Yeah. And your next game is versus the Colts. Do you think it's a must win versus the Colts?
Yes, it is, because then we go to Tampa. We're gonna get our asses kicked in Tampa. And then after Tampa, I already looked at the schedule. I was looking at this. I was like, all right, well, we're 1-2 right now. We could, this is our second home game of the season. This team needs to come out exactly how they did yesterday, but they just need to be consistent. And the play calling, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do, but they need to figure that out. This 2 OC system obviously isn't working. And I think as good as a coach, I think, and I believe that Brian Flores is, and he's been the best head coach we've had in many years. He has a problem with his coordinators, man. He has a problem with the stability and consistency of his coordinators. Every year he's been here, this is his third season. This is his third offensive coordinating system. He had one his first year, got rid of him. Last year, Chan Gailey didn't work out, got rid of him. So he needs to work on that. I don't know if he needs to start doing some engagement with his team, maybe take them out. I don't know. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But they need to change that up. But yes, it is a must-win game. We cannot afford to lose to Indy. I know that they're going to come out hungry because they're 0-3, and they played some decent games. They've been in every game. But they're in our house, man. We got to take care of business. So we go up 2-2. We go to Tampa, which I'm going to that game, but I plan on being inebriated.
I was gonna say sober Sally, or
I'm going to really see Tom Brady, because as many years as he came down here, I've never seen Tom Brady in person. I had an opportunity. I had plenty of opportunities to, but I never did. But I'm going more to see the GOAT go out. So and would it be nice for the Dolphins to win? Hell yeah, but I'm not expecting them to win. So if we go down 2-3, then we got Jacksonville and London. We can take care of business there. But look, you saw Jacksonville gave Arizona a hell of a game yesterday. Until the end. But and then we got Houston and we got Carolina. Even though Carolina looks pretty good, but we got them at home.
So it's a chance to go on a run. That's where you're.
We do. Saying. Our schedule is set up to go on a run. I have some losses in there. I know we're going to Buffalo. That's an L right there. We're going to New Orleans on Monday night. So we have I think our rougher stretch was this first half of the schedule, and then. Toward the middle, it'll be beatable, and then it'll be in our favor toward the end of the year. And then we end the season at home against New England, so that always turns out positive on our end.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins pulling out the win and the Colts again.
We could not allow Carson Wentz to come down here with 2 messed up ankles and they got a hell of a run game. They got Jonathan Taylor. I hope he goes off. He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he hasn't gone off yet, and I got him in another fantasy league, and you're like saying, "Oh yeah, you should get him." Yeah. He's gonna have a good year.
He's been okay. I mean, he's been mediocre, but hey, you know what? He was my keeper, so I only lost a 6th round pick. But yeah, going back to that game with the Colts, man, I feel like the Dolphins need to come out, and I think they will. Like I said, they always respond well after a loss. They did yesterday, although they had plenty of mistakes. I think they came out with the right mindset. But a lot of things to clean up, but definitely should take care of business against Indy at home.
I do feel you Dolphin fans better show out and show up and show out versus that game. If it's a home game, they need your support, and don't be showing like the Miami Hurricanes with the half-filled seats. But so we're gonna go on to the next game that I found intriguing, and I knew that this was gonna be a close game. And I wanted to call it upset, but I think I went with you on picking this team. But, Chiefs versus Chargers. Hell of a game that was. And my question to you is, you're talking about the Chiefs offensive line and how they reworked the offensive line. But do you feel I saw Patrick Mahomes running around a lot yesterday. Do you think he holds on to the ball a little bit too long?
I think he does. I don't think anybody gives him shit for it because he's Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely holds on to the ball too long. He did it against Miami last year, and it was pissing me off because he's on my fantasy team. So he took sacks, he threw interceptions, but yeah, he definitely holds on to the ball too long. And I think he's trying to give his receivers more time to get open. And even when they're not open, the dude's tossing it up there. You saw that's what pretty much ended the game was when he threw it up and it got intercepted.
Yeah, and I think that they, as Andy Reid as a coach, and glad to see that he's doing well. He went to the hospital after the game, but you either ride or die with Patrick Mahomes making these decisions, and sometimes they're really like stupid decisions on, especially that last throw to Kelsey, and it got intercepted. But it's just like
you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah, man. And it's like anybody else gets the criticism, and they get next Monday night quarterback or Monday day quarterback, and they're going at him. And I don't feel like they go at Patrick Mahomes as much because of what he's accomplished in his short career. But man, it's just crazy. And I'm kind of wondering, like, I felt like the Chargers wanted to lose that game because they're going down, and they had the first down. They could have ran the time down to have zeros on the clock and kick the field goal, but they're going for the touchdown, and they trusted Herbert a lot, and eventually they did get the touchdown to Williams at the end. But man, a bad snap, a tip ball, interception, whatever the case may be, and they took that chance. And the Chargers, really could be 2-1 right now, and they are 2-1. They could be 3-0. Actually,
yeah,
they could be 3-0 right now, and they're 2-1.
It hurts to see Herbert though, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'll give it to Vlad, because Vlad, when we were watching that draft, he was like, "Take Herbert. We got to take Herbert," and I liked Herbert, but everybody and their mother was taking Tua before Herbert. I mean, even the Chargers would have. But man, the way this guy is playing, obviously last year he had the best rookie season of all time, and to see him go off on the Chiefs, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a
but
baller, we'd be so much better off.
But I think it's easier for him because if you see, you have one of the best route runners in the league in Keenan Allen to get open, and where they're going on third down is Keenan Allen or Williams. That's he's 6'5",
and he has Austin Eckler, who's another receiver, pretty much.
Yeah, he
has the talent around him, but I mean, come on now, you could tell the kid has it.
Yeah.
You could put him on the Jaguars, and I think he's still gonna look decent.
So the next game I want to talk about is my upset. You went with Tampa, and I went with the Rams on this game, and the Rams went out there and dominated on defense. And my question to you is the Rams right now, and I know it's early in the season, but are they Super Bowl favorites?
I wouldn't say. I don't know about favorites. Mm-hmm. And they play in the toughest division in football. But they're definitely contenders. They're up there. I would say top 2, top 3. That offense looks scary. Not only obviously the defense, you already know.
Yeah.
With Ramsey, Aaron Donald in the middle, they're looking insane. And then with Stafford going out there and balling on, that high octane offense. I would say they might be the favorites, man. They might be the favorites because they've in all of their games, they've looked really good and consistent, and they've won pretty easily all of those games.
And I kind of felt that, and this is the reason why I picked as an upset, because I knew that the Rams were going to throw the ball. Nobody could stop Kupp. Nobody could stop Deshaun Jackson. And
I didn't realize the game was in LA, man. I should have gone with the Rams.
But that's what the Tampa does not have. Their back end is really, really bad, and that's why I knew that Dallas took care of their corners on the first game. Then I knew with Dallas's capability on offense, the Rams had the exact same thing. You have Sean McVay as a really good offensive coordinator. He's going to set up those mismatches, and I still don't know how do you get a safety biting on Deshaun Jackson's post route, and it was a post and go, and I was like, what are you doing? Deshaun Jackson, is trying to go over top on you. Always. keep him, in front of you, and they. It was so many
Cowboys
times.
fans should know that.
Yeah,
he did it so many times.
Deshaun Jackson is one of those players I love to hate. I love him on my team, but I hate him when I play against him because he has those explosive plays. The guy is almost like in his 40s. And still has top end speed and can be
he's still taking the top off the defenses, man.
Yeah, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Rams, and they are, I would say, the favorites in the NFC due to the fact that they have a good offense and a really good defense, and that's what you need
that's a recipe.
The recipe
for championships.
Yeah, championships, and that's what I look at other teams. I look at the Cowboys, and they struggle on their secondary, or at least one part of their secondary, Anthony Brown. But I don't see any really holes in the Rams secondary. Now, I do think that they do have a lot of speed. So one thing that you can get them on is misdirections and probably some pump and goes. But as of now, nobody has the recipe of beating them because they're undefeated. So I had a feeling, and I went with my gut. So whoever was listening to a podcast last week and placed that bet because of me, you're welcome. Okay.
Good call.
And the last game we want to talk about is Packers and 49ers. So this game ended. It was such a good game. And look, to me, I felt like it was going to be I felt like it was going to be a close game because Green Bay's defense really sucks, to put it, bluntly. But they're going up versus a Niners O-line that what they're running. They're going to run the ball most of the time, and they're going to come out of somewhat of play action. But their personnel, when certain personnel packages come in to the game, that they're throwing the ball. And I didn't feel like the Niners have that explosive offense to go down the field, and it's more like ticky-tacky stuff. So when I saw them score that touchdown at the end, towards the end of the game, I was like,
stupid.
Is 30 in my mind, I'm like, is 30, what was it, 32, 37 seconds, whatever the case may be, is that too much for Aaron Rodgers? I was like, man, that's with time. But then I'm looking at their defense, and who is Aaron Rodgers gonna go to in that?
Devontae Adams.
Know who is he going to?
Of course. Yeah.
And Devontae
Adams wide open, I think, at one play.
2 plays. It's crazy to think that everybody in the world knows who they're going to, except for the Niners, and they let them go. They let them go and get that game-winning field goal. Yeah, and it's just crazy to me to think. And it again, shout out to Aaron Rodgers, because at the beginning, people were thinking, is Aaron Rodgers really fully invested? And you kind of saw that he is fully invested in his team. I believe so. I don't think he's going to be there next year or whatever the case may be. Well,
he's coming to the Dolphins.
Yeah, time will tell on that. But my other question is, who's more dangerous in a 2-minute drill, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? Like, who would you want on your team in a 2-minute drill?
Man,
if you had to pick one,
But I'm going Brady, man. I'm going Brady every time. Why? Because I saw him do it so many years, man. I've been seeing this guy do that to the Dolphins, especially since I was 14. So we're talking almost 20 years that I've witnessed this guy just demolish teams, whether it be the Dolphins or anybody. And we've seen him on national television do it. But I think they're both capable of doing it. Obviously, they're both two of the greatest, if not the 2 greatest of all time. But man, I gotta go with the GOAT, man. I gotta go with the most clutch quarterback of all time, Tom Brady.
I'm gonna go with Brady.
He just gets it done, man.
I'm gonna go with Brady also. Just to the fact that I hate Aaron Rodgers because he's done it to my Cowboys plenty of times. So and one
Rodgers did it to the Dolphins the last time we played them. The last time we played the Packers was 2-3 years ago, and he didn't play. I don't believe he played. No, we played him in Green Bay. My bad. That's when we had Brock Osweiler. But the time before that, we played him here. We were up, and he had about 50 seconds left, and he went all the way down and scored on us. But man, let me tell you that it's dangerous. The 49ers, they were celebrating like they won the game already, which is a big mistake because you knew Aaron Rodgers wanted another opportunity. But the Chargers did it too. Like they had a head scratching decision at the end of that game too, where they gave Mahomes, I think it was over about a minute.
Yeah,
with a timeout. When they didn't need to. I believe the game was tied, right?
They're up. No, the game was tied.
Actually, you know what? You're right. Kansas City had no timeouts.
Yeah, Kansas City had
maybe they had one. I'm not sure. But they decide instead of to run out the clock, they could have won easily with a field goal. They threw it on first down and got the touchdown. And I think that's what every Kansas City fan wanted. And they did that. So they gave Mahomes a bunch of time, but the Chargers defense stepped up.
Yeah. But they knew where he wanted to go. They had so much coverage.
Went to Kelsey,
yeah. They had so much coverage on Kelsey, and they kind of eliminated Tyreek Hill because, and I kind of brought this up earlier in the week with Duncan saying that I think it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to throw it on the Chargers because they play those two high safeties, and the reason why Dallas was successful on the Chargers was because we stayed with the run. I know the Chiefs are not that strong-willed to stay with the run because their running game is not as good as ours. And I knew that they were going to be passing the ball. And you saw how, interceptions, and again, most of the interceptions, one bounced off this guy's hands. But do you fault Mahomes? He was trying to throw a no-look pass and it barely went off this guy's hands. But yeah, going back to the 2-minute drill. Brady is one of the best. He's done it for all the seasons, 20 plus seasons that he's been.
I've always told everybody I'm choosing him over Marino, who's like,
and he's done it, in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. So you haven't seen that type of play from Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, other than the first round with the Cowboys, but you haven't seen it in NFC Championship games and so on and so forth. But yeah, so we're gonna go on our game picks now, and we're gonna see we can totally redeem ourselves. So all right, so first
real quick before we go into the picks, because I was gonna bring this up earlier. And I know every Dolphins fan, everybody's bringing this up in all the threads everywhere. I want to ask you, and then I'm going to give you my opinion.
Go ahead.
If the Dolphins have an opportunity to trade for Deshaun Watson, 2-3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, put yourself in a Dolphins fan's perspective. If this was going on with the Cowboys, and you had a guy like Tua, second year, injury prone, hasn't really shown you any flashes as of yet, what would you do?
Because it's kind of hard because I am a Tua supporter, but Deshaun Watson has proven himself in the league. My thing is, if I'm the Dolphins, other than Watson, I have to get something else with Watson. Again, the offensive line is an issue. Now, am I getting Watson and the offensive lineman? And then I'll give you Tua, a couple first rounders, and maybe another player. But I think most of the Dolphins, things that deficiencies are wrong with them are the offensive line issues and the coaching, like the play calling. So to me, it's a hard choice. I might just stay with Tua, and I'm going offensive line and getting rid of my play caller.
Got you. That's understandable. I think that was my stance earlier in the year. But man, if I'm the Dolphins, you got to trade for Watson. I don't care what his legal issues are. Hopefully they get taken care of civilly and he settles with those victims. And if it is true, then obviously he deserves to go to jail. But I think, my opinion, it's a money grab situation. It's consistent, with all the victims and all that stuff. But, hopefully it gets worked out. And if he's clear, I think if you're the Dolphins, you trade the house for him.
So
and I don't think the Texans are going to want Tua.
So
Tua's going to have to be shipped out somewhere else.
So I would, if all his allegations are, thrown out, because the NFL is a league of second chances, and if they get to resolve that right now, I think the Dolphins might pull the trigger on it, because knowing that, yes, we have Brissett right now, Watson could come in either at the later time of the year, but they need some assets. Like you need to get somebody offensive line to help out with Watson, because he's going to be running around, and yes, he's capable of doing that, but there's an injury factor too, and Watson has got injured, but he's able.
But Watson would do a lot better behind this line than both Brissett and Tua or any other option out there, to be honest with you. But unless you're Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, like
those guys,
that's a whole different story.
Yeah,
like I said, I think our offensive line will continue to get better. A lot of young guys, man. You got a rookie at left tackle. I'm sorry, second-year player at left tackle, rookie at right tackle. You got 2 second-year guys at right guard and left guard. And you got your 30-year guy playing center. So at the end of the day, it's a work in progress. But if I'm the Dolphins, and I hate to jump on this train so quickly, but yet Tua hasn't had all the time in the world. But we're not in this place in the NFL where you get 6 or 7 years to try to prove you're the face of the franchise. I think if Tua continues to struggle, again, he's injury prone. He's a small guy. He's not going to take those kind of hits. He's not going to, and that's the one thing, I'm not sure if I mentioned it last week, that I respected about Tannehill. I don't think he ever was a franchise quarterback, but the kid was freaking tough, and he still is. Tua, to me, is just, I don't think you can take those kinds of hits. And unfortunately, with this O-line, you're going to continue to take those kind of hits.
Yeah.
Like I said, in that running play with Brissett yesterday, Tua would have been popped like that. He would have been out the game for sure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I'm the Dolphins, if we have not seen, and I follow Omar Kelly, he's a Dolphins beat writer, and I listen to his shows, and I follow him on Twitter. Not once has this guy said that Tua looks elite, and he wanted this guy on the squad. He's very blunt. He's very honest. People have love-hate relationship with him because he's so honest and he seems so negative. He's just real, and I completely agree with him. If he has not shown you flashes of he's going to have the opportunity to be elite, you need to trade for a guy like Watson, who's already established, and he's only 26 years old. So you still have a bunch of time to build around this guy. If I'm the Dolphins, I give him, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a third-round pick. Or if you want Tua, you can take him. I doubt the Texans are going to want him, or we'll have to ship him out somewhere else. But I think that the Dolphins front office are just going to have to, take that L that we took in these past 2 drafts, because we've had so many picks and we have not seen anything come out of them. You got to do something drastic. And you know what? The Dolphins are top 3, top 4 in cap space next year. So if we do get Watson, buy him a freaking O-line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let the young guys build. I think Eichenberg, who's at right tackle, I think he's going to be a stud. He's just a rookie. He's getting used to the pace of the NFL. Austin Jackson had a solid rookie year. He's struggling this year bad, though. You know what I'm saying? So buy him a line. Continue to develop these guys. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the Dolphins, maybe I'm just at that point right now because I'm so frustrated and I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I may come back and regret what I said. But if you're asking me as a Dolphin fan right now,
yes. You got a lot of frustrated
trade the farm and get Watson.
You got a lot of, and I think the frustration comes with the Dolphins fans because it's been such a long time for like a elite quarterback that you guys would have, and the winning ways. Like, you guys got a little tease last year, and now you want to continue that winning trend. We cannot afford to lose this defense. This defense is ready right now to compete. Yes, there's little things here and there that need to be cleaned up, but we're ready, man. And part of the reason why the defense struggles when they do is because they can't stay off the damn field. Yeah,
because our offense isn't doing anything. If you get a Watson in here, defensively, you're not worried about offense. Watson's going to put you in a position to win and keep the offense on the field. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm the Dolphins, man, chuck it up, bro. And because if Tua continues to struggle and this O-line is horrible and our picks aren't panning out, they're only going to get about another year before the front office gets cleaned out. And then we got to deal with another rebuild. I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. Yeah. Get this defense a guy who's going to lead you to the promised land, and Watson can do that.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, so let's go with our game picks. First one, Tampa Bay versus
Tampa Brady.
Yeah. That's Tampa Brady. Tampa Brady. That's what I heard on the radio one time. So Tampa Bay versus New England. And Brady's going back to New England. That's going to be a really good game. Who do you got?
Tampa.
Yes, I got
Brady,
Tampa.
bro. Brady had, Brady played the way he did last year because he wanted to prove everybody wrong. Especially with all that shit now going back and forth with Belichick and Brady. Brady's gonna go out there and have himself a day. Yeah, New England has a decent defense.
Brady's
they ain't doing shit this year. Mac Jones looks like
Brady's putting up a 40 burger. Brady's putting up a 40 burger. Matt Jones.
I never go against the GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
I take him every time.
Yeah, I'm going with Tampa. Yeah, and Mac Jones is
and I want to see him do it. I want to see him do it because I feel like Belichick treated Brady like shit.
Yeah.
And I want reports.
I want people to go back into that last game versus New Orleans and look at. I felt like Mac Jones was crying on sideline, and it looked like Belichick picked him up and was like, "Yo, get in the locker room now." Like it felt because Jameis Winston went over there and shook his hand, and you saw him with the red face. I'm like, "Yo, is this guy crying?" Like it's only the third game.
He's gonna cry in the car. Man. You think New England made a mistake by letting go of Cam Newton?
Yeah. I mean, Cam Newton.
If New England would have had Cam Newton in that first game against Miami, they would have beaten us.
Yes, I do say that, and I do say with them playing yesterday again. Cam Newton brings that running aspect, so you have to, you got to look after him on defensive side.
He's hard to take down. He's a big dude, man.
So he's gonna go.
When I look at Cam Newton, I think of Hector. So when I'm next to Hector, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm taking this motherfucker down.
Yeah,
he's a big dude.
Hector and Cam Newton are Zach's height and weight.
I know.
So it's crazy. Yeah. Next game, Arizona versus the Rams. Do you think it's just a week that the Rams go down?
Damn. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I go with the Rams because look at Arizona. They got exposed yesterday a little bit. Mm-hmm. But with the Jaguars.
And I was watching that. I was watching
playing in Arizona, right?
I believe it's in LA. Looks like it's in LA.
It's gonna be a tough one, but I think ultimately the Rams have a better defense. I think both of them, their offenses are explosive. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go with the Rams.
You're gonna go with the Rams?
I am. This is the one where you're gonna go against me, aren't you?
I think I'm gonna pull an upset. I'm gonna go for Arizona. Yes.
I wouldn't doubt it, but I'm just going to go with them.
Their pass rush, so the Rams pass rush is going to get there, but are they going to get to Kyler Murray? I think he's going to be off schedule plays, and it's going to create people wide open or him going for almost 100-yard rushing game. So I'm going to go.
Yeah, but if you're Arizona. The Rams, you got a Ramsey that can take Hopkins out the game. I mean, not completely. But
but you got minimize him. Yeah.
What about Arizona? Can they shut down Kupp?
I think
the receiver.
Yeah, the receiver Christian Kirk. They have him. They have AJ Green. So I think part of the problem was
AJ Green hasn't done shit for the last 5 years.
Well, he's doing a decent job for Arizona.
All right, but now if you're Arizona, how are you guarding Woods, Kupp, Deshaun Jackson? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they got a decent tight end, right? They got Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee, which got me some good points on fantasy. So it's going to be a close game, but I again, the deciding factor is it has to be Kyler Murray scrambling and creating plays and giving them more time. So I got the Arizona Cardinals as an upset on this one. Baltimore and the Broncos. As
Baltimore, bro. Look, I was going to ask you if you. Give me your opinion on, through 3 weeks, who's the team that has been, has surprised you the most? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Denver. Yeah. Oh, Denver this. And Bridgewater leading them back. They played the Giants. They played the Jaguars. And they played the Jets. Yeah. I think anybody would have been 3-0 at this point if they played all those three scrubby-ass teams.
And I'm saying the exact same thing about the Carolina Panthers. Because they played the Jets.
They played
the Houston Texans, and I'm trying to figure out
Detroit. Was it Detroit? No, the Giants, right? The Giants.
Did the Jets
play last Thursday?
No,
I'm getting.
Last Thursday they played. Wow, I just went to mind blank.
This past Thursday, Who'd they play?
They played Carolina played the Jets, right?
No.
No,
The Jets,
the
Jets played.
No, Carolina played Houston. Carolina played Houston.
Right, there you go.
So
they played the Jets, Houston, and who else?
I'm just trying to figure out that third team that. New Orleans. New Orleans. So
No.
they played New Orleans. They played New Orleans. New Orleans did bad on the second week. Jameis Winston, yes. Jameis Winston passed for all his touchdowns, and he was shut down by Carolina's defense. So
all right, so that's an okay.
But
because New Orleans defense is still decent.
Yeah, but still, pump the brakes, because now they lost McCaffrey, they lost J.C. Horn, one of their top corners with multiple fractures on their foot. So they got some calling. So, but so who are you going? So you go for Baltimore. I'm going to go for Baltimore too, even though I think Baltimore should have lost this last game due to the fact that Hollywood Brown, had the Butterfingers over there with 3 crucial drop passes. So I think they should have lost the game because it was delayed game right before that incomplete pass to set it up, and they didn't call it.
Man,
so,
the bad official, these officials, like, they're making the game horrible for fans and for football in general, man.
Yeah, the officiating,
these non-calls, no consistency whatsoever. Like they need a leadership meeting or something like that.
Yeah, this officiating
called out.
This officiating has been suspect for.
I wish we could challenge, sort of like how the NBA has it. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could challenge penalties.
Well, they took out the rule of challenging pass interference, so that I think that could have helped you guys out on that last one
for sure. For sure.
And 49ers versus Seahawks. Who do you got?
I'm going Seattle, man. I think Seattle's 1-2 right now, right? Yeah. 2-game losing streak. I don't. Yeah, I think. And where are they playing?
They're playing in Seattle.
Yeah, that 12th man is going to come out strong. I think San Francisco is doing great, man. They should have won last night, but only problem is you're playing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Against anybody else, they should have pulled that win out. But as good as they've looked so far this year, I'm gonna roll with Seattle at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Seattle. I think Russell Wilson's just a little frustrated, and he's gonna go off throwing. We got to see Tyler Lockett's status on his ankle, see how bad that was. But I am gonna go with Seattle just due to the fact that they do have a somewhat of a running game. And, Russell Wilson is just that dude that can, all the obstacles in front of him, he can will you to a win. So I'm going to pick them over the 49ers. So, the only one that we disagreed on was, where's the Arizona Rams? Okay. Let's see if I win that one again.
Hey, well, right. Look, you've gotten me the first couple weeks.
Yeah, there you go.
But today's Monday night. I know you're excited.
Boy,
excited.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's
go. Home opener.
Playing
Philly.
I am ready for this game. I really couldn't sleep last night.
How many beers you gonna drink today?
Oh, we're going 15 deep, I think.
15. All right, try to go 16 this time.
Yeah. So, hey, we'll try our best, but I'm excited. Home opener. Dak's excited, to go out there and play first, and the fans that, last time he played versus our home fans, he got injured. So we'll see how he goes out. Again, we have a lot of people out. Keanu O'Neal out. DeMarcus Lawrence out. You got a couple defensive people.
You got the Briber out too.
Yeah. Hey, bro, give the man a break. He took 180 tests. He's just trying to say, hey, I don't want to piss this thing. All right.
Yeah.
But we got Randy Gregory coming back to Parsons is going to most likely play defensive end again to help out with that pass rush. And we got Golson, one of our draft picks. He is available this week to play because of a hamstring that sat him out most of training camp and a couple games of the season. So I can't wait to see what he had. But just please, Anthony Brown, bro, just give me a decent job. Like, we need to redeem yourself because the first few weeks of this season, you haven't been looking good. So we're hoping for a turnaround.
They're playing at home tonight, man. So hopefully, his confidence is up, his swag is up. I think Dallas comes out as much as I want them to lose because you're talking so much ish last night. I think Dallas at home, first, home opener. You know how electric that place is going to be. You've obviously felt that you've been there in person, so it's going to be nice. And Philly, I don't think Philly's scaring anybody.
I do think that Dallas just needs to take care of the ball, and this defense has been a turnover machine. But they're going to get the opportunities, and watching film on Hurts, he's going to give you opportunities to intercept the ball. It's just, are you going to take advantage of it? And we just can't get beat deep because it looks like they take a lot of deep shots with their wide receivers. So hopefully we can stay put and just create some pressure and come up with a W. So
sounds good. All right, man. Well, good luck.
Well, thank you. So hey, this is your boy JC, Jose and JC from Big Meat Sports, and thank you guys for tuning in for this episode. And we'll catch you on the next one.